Hey everyone, how's everyone doing on this Sunday? Sorry. As the weather is getting colder, my throat is getting small. Happy Sunday, a fun day. Excuse my, you know, relentlessness and my issues with this planet and humanity. No, all I would just say is that, you know, in life there are ups and downs, and this is one of the downs that me and my wife are going through. All right, that's where I'll just leave it at that. All right, and thank you for your support and everything, your love and your kindness. That's all. Uh, life's got to move on. Every one of you out there, some things in life which are not in your are in our uh, control or our um, not because of our, what the hell am I trying to say here? Is not in our hands. All right. So that's it. Again, that's where I'm going to leave it at there. Uh, I presume you all are having a good finish of the weekend. You know, the only other thing is that, you don't want to be a robot the rest of the week. Uh, Although, me and my wife are talking about this today about, how Western civilization, and I say this all the time, is that Western civilization is just sort of like individualistic. People really like keep everything to themselves, which is good, sometimes, but it's like we are strangers here. Nobody, I don't even know, and that's what she was saying, because she just, got here this year, so it's kind of weird for her, I think. I probably felt that way when I came here 24 years ago, But like I said, like what you said, sir. I mean, every society has its own goods and bads, and problem with Western society is that, again, it is just set up the way it is for everyone to live their own lives. Nobody cares what other people do. I mean, of course, if you have friends, you got to reach out to them. But then I mean, okay, so you get my point, right? I don't want to go on and about, a philosophical discussion about the Eastern or other societies. Uh, well, then where we come from, it's a very family oriented, which is good, and also it's more human. I mean, I don't want to say that the Western society is less humane, but it just, people don't care if somebody's like lying on the sidewalk, or I mean, it's not like that the West has lost its humanity, but um, what could be a utopia? I don't think there's a utopia anywhere. You know? I mean, this American world, this world was after it was discovered. Obviously, there were natives here who were here, well before the European came. And what I would say, no matter how the society may be bad and everything about America, and which is actually, I mean, compared to Europe, I think it's still, you still have some sort of a better structure, and of course, it's the new world compared to, the older, European countries or even Asian or whatever, South American or, so our systems, our infrastructure is sure. I mean, I shouldn't say that infrastructure. Infrastructure is falling apart now. Bridges and, and you can see if you drive on any of these Jersey bridges or any of the other older bridges here that link New York, Manhattan to other boroughs, you see that, the paint is falling apart and, looks like it's going to fall down or something, right? But that's a whole different discussion, right? I'm saying that at least the systems we have, I mean, think about just how fucking uh, complicated it is without a reason, right? So if we were under the Queen's Empire, right? Just imagine their fucking postal codes, right? Which Canada has, right? They have numbers and fucking letters in there. You know how fucking retarded that is? Well, I'm not saying I shouldn't use the word retarded. I'm sorry. All right. It's so backward. Why do you need like letters and numbers and what do they fucking mean? Huh? Just give you an example, right? Same thing with like other things. Although we still have the fucking units, right? Measurements and all that. We still use feet and pounds and inches. But I was talking about something else, and I went on to the infrastructure. But uh, supposedly, if we let's discover or set up some sort of a you know a human a I don't want to use the word colony, all right, a human settlement, right, starting with the explorers on a planet like Mars or even Moon. I mean, obviously, our infrastructure there would be, I mean, our systems there would be more advanced, less bullshit, right? And less complicated, simpler. That's the word I want to, simpler. And I'm not sure about like Asian countries. I mean, I mean these other countries like China and or even Russia, or that's still are under that, what is it, communist rule, right? And without going to politics, I mean, that's a whole fucking different. I mean, I don't know about Japan. Japan obviously is a democracy and wasn't like a monarchy, but they still have a prime minister. So Japan is a prime minister. So that's the fucking British like system, right, of governing, right? So what does it mean? That our system is much better, all right? I think for most part, I'm not saying that we don't have bureaucracy. We have a lot of bureaucracy, even when we go to fucking DMV or, if you need to get your license or some shit like that, right? Car registration, whatever. It's just bureaucracy. I mean, is there, all right? Uh, but the utopia is what we would create. If we were to create a new fucking or set up a new settlement, right, with everything, I think we would create some sort of a not exclusiveness, inclusion. I'm not talking about like the fucking, the hippie war, the hippie sense. Oh, come on, now, everyone. Oh, we've got to include all of you, huh? In everything, Come on, we are having some pasta. Are we having some whatever the fuck we are having? Everybody should have, right? You can't do that. Obviously, when human beings started the agriculture, that's when started having families, and then my family, my children, my wife, right? And then my house and my compound and my fucking crops and my you know apricot trees or whatever the fuck, right? Olive trees, whatever, in the Turkish, that land where the first civilization was there, right? And in that new world, right? What would we do different? What would we do different? I think less booze, man. Oh, I know, right? Jesus fucking Christ. Uh, uh, I don't know. I mean, I'm not some sort of a, you know, person, or I don't have any, you know, ability to say, oh, we got to set up, these different sectors, right? And we got to have a strip mall and you know, retail, sports arena. I had a fucking idea. But in terms of, I don't know, in terms of, interaction with other people, I have no fucking idea. That you can't control other people. So I don't know. That's a whole, I mean, discussion about, you without me, just be able to, without knowing much. We can't, the only thing I would say that we can't lose our humanity. And sometimes I feel like I lose my fucking mind. And the next day I feel like, well, really, man? Why? And so we can't lose our humanity. And I mean, if we lose our humanity, then that makes us fucking what, savages? I mean, because we are monkeys and, we are selfish beings still, we still have that, animal, whatever instinct. I mean, I'm not talking about sex and food and sleeping. But yes, of course, we have that. But we also have, the tendency, uh you know, charity starts at home first, sir. All right? That's the way to do it. But if you want to help others, I think you need to teach them how to fish. That's what it is. You know, because if you Don't do that, then your society eventually is going to fall apart. It, I mean, and yesterday I actually was, you know, sort of like in a depressive mode, and I always try to find some solace, some tranquility, some peace in music. But I think music is some sort of you know, a means, just like what do you call meditation or whatever. It can take you somewhere, I think, in your mind, and I think that's the only way to get somewhere, apparently, right? If you want to, travel beyond the speed of light, and that's your imagination, all right? So, what the hell I was talking about? I have no fucking idea. I just lost the chain of thought. I'm so sorry. Oh yeah. So I wasn't thinking about the whole thing about, a utopian society, but somehow I got to, I got to also have some sort of other, anchor, like what anchors are. I don't know. I mean, because it's good to be a robot, and that's what we are, cogs in the wheel. But then we are also human, and then beyond, what are we? You know, and that beyond part, that's the actual existential question. All right. And somehow that in our mind tells us, and I think I talked about this last time. Right? I remember what I said last time, that our inner self actually seeks, something greater than just like eating and shitting and having sex, and you know there's more to it. I'm not saying that, oh, you know what, we got every one of us have to die, so we gotta prepare for that. That happens. Doesn't matter whether you prepare or not. All right. I think while we are alive, greater meaning, the deeper meaning of life. I think that's what it is. That's just, I don't know. I'm just trying to, I think these things somehow become more, and sorry, I just had a moment where, do you really want to like talk about the same things, man? And no, you don't have any ideas. What the hell are you talking about? I mean, greater meaning, deeper meaning, you know? People have lost, spent years and years trying to find, uh, what the real reality. I don't fucking idea. Just, I just got to, say to myself, yeah, man, it's a little bit. I mean, if you're trying to find some sort of, what do you call, deeper connection, right? Deeper connection to this universe. How are you going to do that? What's the channel to get to that, right? Yeah, well, I mean, meditation and music and all that, I think. But I, in the back of my mind, in the school of thought of Terence McKenna, and that the universe is actually even weirder, that we can try to actually describe it, analyze it, and through our human language and our logic. I think the logic doesn't work at some. I mean, obviously, you know, if you have taken a psychedelic, you know that it's so fuck. I mean, logic. Yeah, you were there, but you're like, what the fuck is this experience? Because our mind doesn't make any sense. I mean, mind is just basically in a different realm, all right? But maybe that's what eventually, the caterpillar, which is our body, wants us to, morph into the butterfly. Is that what it is? Maybe. But in the grand scheme of things, what's in the grand scheme of things? So the grand scheme of things, us, some of us, I mean, people like me who don't have any patience for this fucking world to begin with, right? And it's just very hard. And with like chemically imbalanced, brain activity, you know, uh, it doesn't help. I'm not saying that, I have started hearing fucking sounds in my head, but what I'm saying is that somehow something wants to surface and tell me, hey man, you're just moaning and bitching and getting angry over shit that doesn't even, you know, show up on any dial. It doesn't register on any fucking dial, you know? But then it also makes me sad somehow that I wish I could just like, when in these moments in the middle of these thoughts, I wish I could just go down to the river, which is right river, fucking Sims factory noise. Can you hear it? I hope not. I could just go down to the river and just play flute or, something and just like, or a guitar, like melody and just like feel the vibration and, something that would just that would make me feel good. But I just don't have that creative skill. I guess I'm just a robot. It's like, yeah, I can do maths and I can do, these blueprints and all, but just like that's the irony of, like not having creative fucking artistic, abilities. Kind of sad, is it? I can't even play any instrument. Yeah, well, you could say the same thing about musicians, right? Oh, well, they can play an instrument, but they can't do fucking math. So I guess I wasn't meant for a guitar. Sing, yeah, I can sing. I mean, anybody can sing, although it doesn't mean that I can be or anybody can be a singer. What am I going with this whole conversation? I guess just to escape from being, a robot. I think just I mean, and sometimes I feel like this also, sort of fits into this, illusion of my selfishness of, you know, I need to do these things for me to be a little more satisfied in a deeper fashion, on a deeper level, right? Some people, find that meaning by helping others and doing good for the society. I don't know. Other people are just minding their own business, sir. I guess you're right. And who am I to disagree? You remember this fucking song? Uh, well, here. Okay, so this is what I would end my 20 something minute podcast is that, and then I lost the fucking train of thought on that one as well. The hell am I talking about? Okay, so the the way I see it is that because sometimes how you feel like you are in charge of something beyond your own fucking life, and and it's like, what the fuck? No, you're not. All right. Society is not waiting for you to, flock on and, march in some fashion to somewhere, right? And you're not Peter Pan either. All right. So, so then what's the best way to live life? All right, I'm going to summarize the best way to live life in the next 2 minutes. Just take it easy. Just take it easy, all right? Don't wreck yourself. That's what it is. Take it easy. Have some degree of satisfaction. Find some happiness in some, you know, which choir, like preaching to, I guess, you know, for somebody who is always never satisfied, like me, a person like me. I think just taking it easy, that's the best part. And have some fucking happiness in whatever happiness you can find. Have some fucking laughs too, all right? People who are on death row, man, they can even have laughs. What's wrong with you? But, okay, well, let's not go there, all right? Um, so with that said, I think I'm going to close my podcast. Have a great start of the week. I'll see you all next week.